Welcome to another episode of 5 Minutes Book Summary. Today we are going to explore the book, Radical Uncertainty. It is a book that explores the nature of uncertainty in decision-making and argues that traditional approaches to decision-making are often inadequate in the face of radical uncertainty, a type of uncertainty that cannot be measured or predicted using traditional methods. The authors, John Kay and Mervyn, draw on insights from economics, philosophy, and psychology to present a new approach to decision-making that is better suited to the realities of radical uncertainty. The book begins by defining radical uncertainty as uncertainty that cannot be reduced to statistical probability or historical data. This type of uncertainty is prevalent in many areas of life, from business to politics to personal relationships. The authors argue that traditional approaches to decision-making, which rely on statistical models and historical data, are inadequate in the face of radical uncertainty. They point out that even the most sophisticated statistical models cannot account for all the variables and contingencies that can arise in complex systems. The authors then present their alternative approach to decision-making, which they call narrative-based reasoning. This approach involves constructing narratives or stories about the future that are based on a deep understanding of the present and past. The authors argue that these narratives can provide a more realistic and useful framework for decision-making in the face of radical uncertainty. The authors emphasize that narrative-based reasoning is not a replacement for statistical models or historical data, but rather a complementary approach that can help decision-makers better understand and navigate uncertainty. They provide numerous examples of narrative-based reasoning in action, including in the fields of finance, politics, and healthcare. For example, they describe how narrative-based reasoning was used by central bankers during the financial crisis of 2008 to make decisions in the absence of reliable data. Throughout the book, the authors also explore the philosophical and psychological implications of radical uncertainty. They argue that uncertainty is an inherent part of the human condition and that it is impossible to eliminate it entirely. However, they also stress that uncertainty should not be feared, but rather embraced as an opportunity for growth and exploration. The authors conclude the book by calling for a broader shift in how society thinks about uncertainty and decision-making. They argue that we need to move away from a narrow focus on statistical models and historical data and towards a more nuanced and holistic approach that incorporates narrative-based reasoning and other tools for navigating radical uncertainty. Overall, Radical Uncertainty is a thought-provoking book that challenges traditional approaches to decision-making and offers a compelling alternative. The author's emphasis on the importance of narratives and stories in decision-making provides a refreshing perspective on a topic that is often dominated by statistics and data. Whether you are a business leader, a policymaker, or simply interested in the nature of uncertainty, this book is well worth reading.